All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming this morning. The goal this morning is for us to explain what every door direct mailings are. Again, thank you for spending some time with us. First, I'd like to get started with some introductions. We have Len Searfoss on the video this morning. He is our Chief Marketing Officer. Wave Len so everybody knows which one you are. There we go. We also have Mason Palmer, which is our Business Development Manager for Leverage. Thank you, Mason. And I am Paul Kestel. I'm the Director of Sales and Customer Service here at McKenna. Again, welcome. Thank you. We will have some time a little bit later in our presentation to open up for questions. But in the meantime, as we're discussing, if you have anything, the chat feature is live. Go ahead and chat a question. We will do our best to answer any and all questions. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Len.
Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to start off by kind of giving you an overview of what EDDM or Every Door Direct Mailing means, kind of how it functions, and why it really is important for you to consider. So if you think about, marketing in general, we did a survey just the other day, and a lot of people answered and said one of their main pain points with business and marketing their business is, in general, how do I market? How do I hit people? Marketing is this pixie dust kind of thought process, right? But it doesn't have to be. And lots of people want to turn towards social. Lots of people want to play the algorithm game. And with Every Door Direct, you can really target a primary base in your own area or in any area, really. So if you're a business and you sell a particular widget, and you know that there are people in Kansas City who will buy that widget, the tool that Mason's going to show you, and we can also help you with all of this, is to drill down and find what would be a perfect mail route in your area or in the area you want to target. And it will allow you to put a postcard in every mailbox on that mail route or multiple mail routes, depending on how you want to do it. Here is a nice thing to think about with Every Door Direct as well. It's fairly simple. You really need to design a postcard. That's it. We take care of the rest. We will print the postcard. We will handle the mailing of the postcard. You don't really have to do anything except decide what the postcard says. And if you need us to design the postcard, we have designers on staff. We can work with you with that as well. But we really can help you with every step of the way. Think about the fact that, again, social media marketing, we're playing with the algorithm, we're coming back, we're spending more money to try to boost the algorithm, so on and so forth. With Every Door Direct, you get 100% open rate. It is the only type of marketing that is 100%. Everybody goes to their mailbox, they take out their mail, they look at their mail. Now, a lot of us will say, well, but junk mail. Here's the deal. We all look at junk mail, whether we want to admit it or not. I just went to my mailbox yesterday. I took out stuff. And even though, all the political mailings are coming, I at least looked at names. I may not have read content, but names stuck with me, logos stuck with me. All of that is recognition. And so that's what EDM really gains you at not a high cost. That's the other nice part. And as Mason kind of walks you through the tool, it's something you can play with on your own. It's something we can do a Zoom call with you and help you figure that out and kind of walk through what, where, why, and how. So as Mason takes over and kind of walks you through the tool, again, remember to put your questions, in the chat room there, and we will come back and answer those as we have time towards the end. But Mason, I'm going to turn it over to you now that they kind of understand that EDM is a great cost-effective way to market, and you can share your screen and kind of show them how the tool works.
Yeah, perfect. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mason. I work often with EDDMs. how they work, getting them set up for people. And it's really easy. USPS has an online tool that is available to everyone. Um, this screen that I'm sharing right now is the home page of that tool. So you can see here, it shows the entire map of the US. That's because we can do anywhere in the US with this tool. So for us in the Cedar Falls area, I already know, the area that we're in and our surrounding zip codes. So I'm going to go to a familiar place. 50613 is our zip here in Cedar Falls. So all I did was type in the zip code in the search bar here. I clicked enter. And now what shows up are all of these purple highlighted routes. And what these are unique individual mailing routes that USPS takes. And they're broken down each route by all of these different tools up top here. And they each can determine a different factor in what you are considering putting out for content. Um, you can see up top here at the top of the tool, as I kind of hover over these routes, that these numbers will change based on the route and the area that I select. So I know Cedar Falls relatively well, and I know that if we come closer to this Main Street area and I select this route, we're going to get a lot of businesses. So as you can see at the top of the tool panel up here, as I hover over this route, we have 447 residential households and 205 businesses. So in total, we have 652 mailboxes that your postcard or whatever you will send will be hitting. As you can see, the age range as well, it's showing just under 16% age 25 to 34. And these are things you can adjust as well. If I want a wider range to look at for my age range, I can simply adjust this tool to whatever range I want, and it will adjust that tool for me automatically. So all of these different things that we're looking at as we're using this tool can be things to consider as either seasonal or sales come up, whatever you are, marketing or advertising, you can use this information to consider when you're selecting these routes. So that is a 30,000 foot view of the tool, if you will. There are a lot of different, I guess, details that you can dig into that we can help you with. And we'd be more than happy to sit down one-on-one over Zoom or in person or however, and go over these different options for you. So from here, I think I'm going to hand it back to Paul, and we're going to go forward with the next section here.
Thank you, Mason. So Mason just explained, how it can be done. Now, maybe you're wondering how this can affect your business, whether you're a professional photographer, you own a salon, you're a small business owner, you name it. This is for everybody. Here's a couple ways that this can, make an impact in your business. One, it could grow your business through inexpensive marketing, like Len already mentioned, and Mason. It can also help with brand awareness. Len mentioned that, he got some postcards in the mail. He recognized a name and he may have recognized a logo. So it's just another touch point that you as a business are getting that out there in the community. It could also have a call of action or call of action on it. Maybe that's something that you want them to get that postcard and do something with it. It could contain discounts, maybe a free service. Maybe you're using the card as a referral. You want to grow your client base, so maybe you send this to your existing client base, give this card out as a referral. There's so many different options that you could utilize this service with to grow your business. And so just kind of depends on what you're looking to do. Um, so that's some of what this can do to help expand your business. I'm going to open up the options over here to where you guys can either come in and chat a question or ask a question, and we'll see what questions you guys have. We'll do our best to answer those. If we can't answer all of them, again, Len alluded to this, we will send a follow-up email that'll contain our contact information, and we are happy to set up, one-on-one calls with you, a Zoom, whatever we need to do to assist. So Abby said the link above isn't working to the EDDM that you showed, Mason. So maybe we should just verify that that's the correct link.
Yeah, and we'll put all of that in the email as well. So we'll
Yeah.
make sure everything is correct when we put it in the email to send it out so everybody has it. And it'll be a live link in the email for you to click on. Just keep in mind too, one of the biggest things with any mailing, EDDM or personalized direct mail, we can do all of those. But with any type of direct mail, the three primary things to think about is you get to pick your target market. If you're using an EDDM, as Mason showed, you can pick the certain routes. So we can do, if you don't know, we can do a lot of different research with a lot of tools to possibly drill down and figure out the primary areas that you want to target and the mail routes that you want to use. Let's say you decide you don't want to do EDDM, but you actually want to do direct mail. If you have a database, we can help you with that and use that database. Let's say you want to buy a database. We have vendors that we use in order to help you buy that database. So the reality is when it comes to direct mail, EDDM is, I'll say, an easy runway. It allows you to target areas. It allows you to put something in every mailbox. And here's the other thing that I know with any type of mailing. If it comes to grandma's mailbox, right? Like let's say as Paul mentioned earlier, you're a salon owner. Well, maybe grandma doesn't use your salon, but she happened to be talking to her daughter or her granddaughter, and they mentioned that they're looking for someone new that could cut their hair or whatever. Grandma's going to hand that postcard over. I mean, it happens all the time. If you're a photographer, and again, grandma gets that, but grandma doesn't need or want senior or family portraits. Grandma's going to hand that over because there's a percentage off or whatever your offer is. So the nice part about mail is, and it's, yes, social media can be shared and forwarded, but that tangible piece, there's value to that. We've lost that kind of in our focus of marketing, but there is something valuable to that tangible piece that is your brand, that is your look and feel, and people can relate to it. So are we seeing any questions here?
Yeah. So Becky asked, I'm curious about the design of the piece. Where do you find the postal parameters? That's a good
We
question.
we can give you the postal parameters. We can actually put that in the email so that everybody knows. And it is a little bit different. So EDDM has some of its own regulations. Direct mail is a totally different, piece, because that depends on whether you're putting it in an envelope or you're doing a postcard or whatever. But again, we can help you plan that out. And it's fairly quick and easy, but there are also, and possibly we can send a link to that as well. The regulations are all on the USPS website, but sometimes understanding and reading those regulations is fun. So that's why we have a mailing specialist on staff. Mason knows a lot, I know a lot, but we do have a mailing specialist. Her name is Maya, and she really can drill into anything that we want to do. But when it comes to the design of the piece, I always suggest that you make sure that it's your brand, your look, your feel, um, and make sure it has some sort of call to action, whether that's a QR code, whether that's, a percentage off, whether that's a direct sell type thing. We've got this product on sale for this price. Come get it today. That type of call to action is important in any type of postcard.
If I
Thank,
may
oh,
jump
thank
in,
you.
um, can you see my screen here, Paul?
Yes.
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
we can see it.
So to the specific parameters question on this tool page, well, actually, before I say that, I am also having troubles loading the EDDM tool on my Chrome. I'm using Microsoft Edge to load this page right now. So I guess I can only speak for myself, but I'm also having that same problem under my Chrome browser. So maybe a different browser might work. Either way, when it comes to the size of the piece, they have this really helpful tool at the top right here. And when you click on it, first it lays out exactly what the parameters are. Can't be over 3.3 ounces. It must be at least 10 and a half inches long or 6 1/4 wide. And then you can even put in your parameters down below and it will tell you, let's see, if I want a 6 by 9 and it's, 1/4 inch, then it will tell me that this is incorrect parameters and it'll actually tell me what I need to adjust to get the correct one. So there's also that helpful piece as well. If you're wondering how your piece is going to fit or if it's legal to send. So
Thanks, Mason. Another question came up. Any recommendations on postcard designs? Too many images, not enough images, too much text. What would you guys say to that?
Well, again, I think that depends on what type of business you are. So if you're a photographer and you're wanting to market your type of photography, if you only do seniors, if you do weddings, if you want those images on that postcard that represent who you are and what you do. If you're a business, you for sure want to have some sort of image that shows the services you offer, the product you offer. You want to make sure that there's a relatable image or images. Um, I've seen, the logical mindset goes to, okay, what works? What have you seen that works? Uh, I've seen really good results off of one side of the postcard is a full image with a logo and maybe one line of text that entices you to turn that postcard over. Um, then there might be a product image with the offer. There might be a an image that shows a service with whatever the offer is going to be. So again, we can help you with that and we can guide you along with that. We've had a few photographers now that have done some EDDMs and lots of businesses have done them. Um, so we can help you along with that because we're also getting feedback from a lot of those customers that are doing these things and we're finding out, hey, that worked, that didn't work. And again, we might want to do a little bit of research on your area because there are some things that work in one town that might not necessarily work in another. But we really can help you lay out your design as well.
I think also it's really important to make sure that the imagery is who you're trying to entice. So if you're trying to grow your family market, putting wedding images on that may not necessarily connect.
Right.
So make sure what you're trying to do with that postcard, the images match that. I hope that answers your question, Gary. All right, looking at other questions here.
But
So
do
there's a question, if we decide we want to do this, we send you the postcard design for print, but what are the steps after print? Good question.
Sit back and wait for the results because we handle all of the rest of the work. That's really the fact. You're going to give us the print file and we're going to talk to you about what mail routes you want to hit. And once we have that information, we seriously are handling everything else. We're printing the postcard, we're handling the mailing paperwork, we're getting it to the post office, it mails, and you really don't have to do anything else other than design it and pick out the routes you want it to mail to.
Another good question. If you choose a postal route, does it have to go to every box in that route or just the ones you choose, such as age range?
Uh, Mason, you want to take that one?
So, unfortunately, you cannot pick and choose individual houses on the route. When you select a route, it's going to go to every mailbox. However, you can choose if you only want them to go to residential households or residential and businesses. So your two options when you are using the tool is either all residential households on the route, excluding businesses, or both business and residential households, and you're going to hit every single one on the route selected.
Yeah.
However, there are lots of routes to choose from, and they have ranges from close to 100 or less than 100 mailboxes up to over 1,000
Yeah.
for every route.
And don't misunderstand the tool. When you're picking an age range, it's not saying that they will put that piece of mail in the mailbox of the people in that age range. What it's doing is it's telling you in that route how many households or how many mailboxes. So keep in mind, it's every door direct. So it's going in every mailbox, except you can exclude business. But it's going in every mailbox, but it is telling you in that mail route the percentage of households that have those ages in them.
Thanks for clarifying that. Someone asked, what about the barcode area or safe zone for the address panels?
Yeah. So we can give you that as well. And there is an area for address panels. Within every door direct, there is no barcode. It literally will say postal customer, and that is all. The USPS still wants that safe zone, if you will. And again, we can put that because that's standard across the board on every mailing. We can put that in the email to you so that you know what that mail panel size should be and where it should be.
Someone mentioned the drop downs aren't working for them. They've tried multiple browsers. We apologize for the technical issue
Yeah,
with
we
the
don't
postal
control the
service right
USPS,
now.
unfortunately.
Yeah, but we can assist with that if you can't get the drop downs. So
Yeah, and here's what I know with the tool as well. If there's a lot of people on it, as most government websites, they slow down. I don't know why, but they do. Um, Give it 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, come back and try it again. Mason said he was having an issue in Chrome, but I have Chrome open on my other screen and I'm sitting here messing with the tool without issue. So it is, unfortunately, the .gov website sometimes has some quirks. So you'll have to deal with that one.
here's another great question. What about doing this internationally? What's the cost?
Every door direct, to my knowledge, doesn't work internationally. Um, it is the continental U.S. Or I'll say the U.S. Postal Service. If you wanted to do an international mailing, we would have to look at buying a database and going that route with direct mail that way.
Thank you. Another question. What's the best way to communicate which mailing routes we would like to use?
Oh, So when you, let me clear this out for a second. I'm going to share my screen.
They have numbers on them, don't they, Len?
They do. Yep.
Yeah.
So let me share here. So can everybody see my map? So
Yes, we
as you
can.
hover over a route, you'll notice I clicked on it, so it turned blue. But you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner where it says route, it gives you the zip code 50613, but it says R001. So if you decide that you want that route and you want 003, you'll notice on the right-hand side where it says order summary, selected routes 2. You can just give us those route numbers, the 001 and the 003. And we'll be able to then replicate that as well when we're ready to go about sending out your mailing.
Thank you.
So just always go to that upper left-hand corner and see what that R00 number is. And if you have 3 or 4 of them, just give us those numbers.
The international question, they clarified they live on the border of Canada. So we could do a mailing, just not a every door direct mailing for them, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could absolutely print something and send it. It's just a little different than what we're describing today. Because our Canadian, northern um, neighbors, I guess is the word I'm looking for. They're important too. We can market to them. So, what does a cost per start at? Like a range?
Yeah. That's a great question. Unfortunately, there's no easy answer for that. Mainly because, when you think about volume printing, if you order one, that's going to be a cost. If you order 50, then your cost is broke up over 50 pieces, 100 pieces, so on. Um, Mason, do you know off the top of your head what the average per piece postage is?
Yeah, so they give you an approximate cost on the tool. Let's say you select 3 routes, it'll give you that approximate cost, and that cost is the postage and essentially the every door direct. Being able to use that, it tends to average out about 30 cents a piece, all said and done for EDDM postage. That is typically the number that we will estimate postage being. We've noticed they on the tool they tend to lowball that a little bit. So 30 cents a piece is a good starting point. And for the most part, when it's said and done, we we end up the clients typically end up paying more in postage than they do for the printed product. Um,
Yep.
so so if that, you can use that as a reference.
And and we can always estimate something for you quickly. So if
Right.
you say, "Hey, I picked out 4 routes, it's 551 pieces," we can tell you what the print cost is going to be fairly quick. I just noticed as well that the next question of, what's the turn time? So if you send us your design and your routes today, it's probably hitting a mailbox. Today's Thursday. It's probably hitting the post office by Monday afternoon. Usually within 2 days, 3 days. Part of that is we're also going to send you a digital proof back so that you can, get your digital proof and approve it. So a little bit depends on how quickly you approve that proof. But our department getting that out to the post office is fairly fast. Um, 2 to 3 days. Again, depending on the volume that you pick. If you decide you're mailing to 10,000 people, it's going to take us a little longer to print it. Um, but not long at all to get it through the system and out the door. We will also alert you when it heads to the post office. So you'll get a basically your job is done kind of email from us, and you'll know that that's the day that it went to the post office. Rachel asked if EDDM is if that postage is first class. No. Um, Every door direct is not considered first class. It's still, honestly, I'm surprised with EDDM. It still handles the postal service fairly quick. It's not like it sits in a corner for 4 or 5 days. But usually, if we take it to the post office on a Monday, it's out being distributed into the system by Tuesday. And again, we can't control the USPS. We will get it to them within a few days, but usually within 24 hours, it's been sorted and out into the system.
These have all been wonderful questions. What other questions do you guys have? So a question is there a certain person we should send these types of POs to?
No, any one of us can help you. Any one of us can handle this. Um, like I said, we'll send the contact information in an email for all three of us. Um, reach out to whoever you think is the cutest on the screen. So sorry guys, I'm going to get a lot of emails, but um,
I hope it's in the same order that mine is. I just pointed to you, Len.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be me. Yeah, but no, seriously, any one of us can help you. Mason probably is more of our guru with the EDDMs. He deals with them quite a bit, but Paul or myself can help you as well.
So someone
Yes.
asked, can we submit these via the online leverage website?
So Amber, the answer to that is yes and no. You can, but you can't necessarily give us your routes through the online store. Um, but let me do a little bit of work with that with our vendor on storefront, and maybe we can figure out a way for you to do those because I know you like to do that so that everything is concise inside your login. But let me do a little digging because I got to answer your other question from your email this morning as well. But I'll get you both of those answers.
Follow-up wanted to confirm, so they submit the order to one of us rather than the regular channels.
Correct. Because there's some legwork that has to go in to each mailing. So let's say you email Mason, he's going to take your file, he's going to take your routes, and then we're going to work to prepare the paperwork. We don't have an ordering system yet that will handle some of that automatically. I don't even know what word I'm using. So we don't have an automated system that handles that yet because the USPS is kind of slow with that. But an individual will quickly take that and get it into our system. Oh, someone asked what our contact information is. We're going to send out an email to everybody in this group and give you all three of our contact info, phone numbers, email addresses, and so on. We'll give you the link to the EDDM website. We'll give you some of the specs that we asked for before, or that was asked about before. So we'll put all of that into an email and have it out to you later this afternoon. Well, and actually, Amber just responded and gave you everybody's email address in the chat there.
Other questions?
Will the recording be sent?
Yes, according to Amber. We have people that are good
Yes.
at doing stuff on the back end. So
Yes.
the answer is yes. Other questions you guys have? These have all been awesome.
Yeah. No.
Is there a fee for doing this?
Nope. Nope. We don't necessarily, if we're helping you, you're not paying for that time. We offer that as a service to help you get your postcard designed. There, obviously, if we're designing your postcard, yes, there would be a small fee for that. But again, we'll estimate all of that once we know the scope of your project. The biggest thing I'll say, and I mean this in all sincerity, sometimes this kind of stuff people get a little nervous about. Um, Please, 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 it is not a waste of time at all to jump on a Zoom with us, jump on a call with one of us, and really just kind of ease your mind as to this process, especially if you've never done it before. Um, Let us help you. Let us hold your hand and walk you through that first one. If you've never done it before, you're going to find that it's really not super difficult to make this happen. Do we see a lot of these for Christmas time for Christmas photos? Yes. If you're doing Santa shoots as a photographer, or you've got different events set up for different holidays, this is a great way to put it out there for your community that this is the time, this is the place, here's your coupon. This is a great way to market those opportunities. Other questions?
Maybe we answered them all. Ooh, that's a good one. Is there a more popular size?
Mason?
Standard, I would say, for an EDDM is 6 1/8 by 9. That's the closest you can get to a standard postcard 6 by 9 size while still adhering to the legal standards. So we would call it a 6 by 9 and just add an eighth of an inch to the bottom. So that I would consider that a standard size.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, a 6 1/8 by 9 or a 6 1/8 by 10, that's going to stand out over most mail. It's larger than a number 10 envelope. It's larger than a 5 by 7 envelope. It's going to stand out in comparison to most of the mail that people are pulling out of their box.
You can also do a bifold and a trifold. Those are legal as well. Have a couple folds if you want.
So and keep this in mind too, if you want something that is a bifold with a perforation, so they have a card to bring back or a coupon to bring back, we can do perforations, we can do different things like that inside of your piece to make it a functional return piece.
Now, just to clarify, Mason, those are tabs, so they still mail correctly, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just in case someone's wondering how that works.
Yep. Yeah, and all those things like, they're the USPS is very strict on little things like where your tabs are located and, the sizing and all of that. We can take care of that. If you give us an inspiration, we can run with that. The details we can sort out.
Another couple questions. Is there a minimum or limit to how many can be sent out?
No. Typically, though, when you look at your mail routes, it's going to give you the quantity of mailboxes in that route. So really your smallest quantity is going to be based off of the smallest mail route that you choose.
There is a maximum that is 5,000 pieces a day.
Yep.
So that's a pretty large, it's a pretty large quantity for, a small business. But there are, and I know this would apply to Rachel, there are bulk mailing options with
There are.
EDDM that do allow you to go over that limit, that daily limit. So there are options as well. There's no minimum, but the maximum is 5,000 a day, which is pretty lofty. So
The next question is, can we do a gift card stuck inside of the piece? That answer is yes. They would, excuse the term, but it's the real term. They would booger glue inside of your folded card, and then they would tab shut, um, so that the recipient ends up getting that card. You can't do a postcard with something stuck to it, but you can do a folded card with something stuck inside. We just did, was it 44,000 pieces? With that exact idea. It was a fold over card that had another, small card stuck inside. Any other questions? Okay.
I don't see any new ones.
No.
Well, if you do have questions after we end this, like we said earlier, we will send an email with our contact information. Please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are more than happy to assist you in any way we can, regardless of your business type, to help grow your business through this unique marketing opportunity. And we're very thankful for your time, thankful for your questions, and we look forward to assisting each of you.